Hey there, Julia Rose here. I pray this message finds you at the precise time you need it. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else to find. Your guides are helping you to navigate this grief that you've been avoiding. And for some of you, it's not necessarily that you've been avoiding it, it's just you haven't understood or known how to really process all of your emotions, all of your feelings. And that's something that Spirit's helping you with right now. Your prayers are being heard and answered. So trust the messages that you're receiving from within as well as the signs that you're seeing externally. Okay? We have Compassion, Rose, Heart Chakra card. Trigger statement, I am unlovable. True statement, I am love. Your heart is healing and expanding with love. Spend time showering yourself with that love and then share with others. Some of you could be, I'm seeing fresh flowers. Some of you might have just had fresh flowers or are being encouraged to keep fresh flowers in your space to help you stay present. I see some of you also working with rose essence. I'm hearing rose tea and rose water for some of you specifically, as well as oils, rose oil. And then we have ylang ylang. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Okay. Awaken. And the trigger statement is, I don't know what to do. True statement, every moment is a new opportunity. Take time today to engage your senses and create. That means take action. The tension that has been dividing your head and heart is leaving. Trust that it's safe to open up. This really feels like Spirit's asking you to trust a little bit more right now and to honor your emotions and forgive all circumstances. Forgiveness is truly a blessing to help you relieve your burdens. And some of you have been ruminating and focusing on the wrong things. That's not been allowing you to navigate your emotions in a way that would let you process them and make new choices. We have a sacral chakra card, cardamom, integrity. Trigger statement, it is their fault. True statement, my thoughts are the cause of my suffering. As emotions rise, go within to see what stories and memories are fueling them. Then release what is not serving you with gratitude. And some of you might find that this is the realization of wanting others to behave differently around you and realizing that you have no control over their actions. You only have control within yourself over how you respond to these things. So go deeper. Some of you are starting to see these things at a surface level, but Spirit's asking you to go deeper so you can more fully understand what is meant by taking responsibility. Because when the trigger statement, it is their fault, true statement, my thoughts are the cause of my suffering, that's radical accountability. And that radical accountability is actually going to enable you to realize what emotions and patterns of thought that are serving to fuel those emotions are not serving you. For some of you, it's the frustration and angst over the inaction or action of others. But that's not something you have control over. You have control over what you're able to do about a situation and how you're able to respond to the things that arise. Now, it's a discipline, it's a practice that with intentional awareness that you cultivate in times of reflection, of self-reflection, or you might call that shadow work. That's a space for you to fully accept your responsibility and your role in the way things have been. Look at it like an invitation. It's an invitation for you to stop worrying about what others are or are not doing, because that outward focus is what had you caught up in these messes in the first place. The real change that you're looking for externally doesn't start externally. It starts from the internal shift of deciding to make a new choice and then acting on that decision. So a lot of you were still fresh into spring energy, fresh into Aries energy. You're being called to reset at a large scale with this eclipse season. It's quite literally flushing your old reality out of your life. Some of you are going to be doing a deep clean of your home. Some of you are going to be donating items or resituating your finances. I feel like you're going to get reorganized and more financially organized. Cultivating your literacy is really another theme this eclipse season, Mercury retrograde. So I want to see what else Spirit has for you in this moment. What else do you need to know? I feel like some of you are where you might have had fear in the past around looking too deeply into certain things. Spirit's changing your mindset so that you're actually more comfortable looking at these things that in the past might have made you uncomfortable. You've already been getting the signs, you've already been getting the messages, but Spirit's not going to bring you more information until you act on what's right in front of you. Some of you, this is the same for building deep meditation habits or becoming psychically sensitive. You've been wanting to open your third eye, you've been wanting to develop your psychometry or your clairsentience, your clairaudience. All of these things are gifts, and they are given when you demonstrate enough of a control over your life. Because some of you are feeling out of control and uninspired. Having the ability to see and know more is not going to help you when you don't feel like you're in a place within yourself and within your life right now that you're able to really handle the responsibility of these gifts. So Spirit's asking you to think a little bit differently. It says, Coriander, honoring self, trigger statement. This is the way it has always been done. True statement. I create my way. You are ready to fulfill your desires by thinking outside the box. The path less traveled may be more fulfilling. Meaning reading new kinds of books, watching less tarot and taking more walks, doing more exercise instead of scrolling on social media. It's small things that are going to help you right now with making new conscious decisions moment by moment. I highly recommend reading Atomic Habits by James Clear if you haven't already, because that's going to help you get a handle on practical ways to take the emotion and the procrastination as well as fear out of change, out of the habits you're desiring to build. The number 42 could resonate with you. Yeah, because again, with the psychic gifts, trust your instincts. If you don't trust yourself enough to act on your feelings and act on your intuition's not going to grow. So some of you who've been called to do certain things or go certain places, change jobs or say this to this person or connect with that person, go to that event. It might not make sense in the moment by moment thing, but Spirit doesn't operate linearly. Spirit operates in a very organic, holistic way of being able to pull multiple things together. And it's always about alignment. So trust the messages you've already been given. When you ask for a sign and then you get that sign and you say, well, is that it? Don't doubt that. Because again, that's telling Spirit that you're not ready to open up. So again, coming back full circle here to the heart chakra awakening, your spirit guides, your angels, your ancestors, and the divine source of everything is helping you to open and align your heart chakra with receiving what it is that you desire. And Remember that your blocks are not something that you're pitted against. It's not you versus the block, because that gives the block way more power than it needs. If you can call your blocks fears, call it for what it is. It's a fear. And when it's a fear, it's actually something you experience. It's not something that's out there that you have no control over. It's a direct manifestation of your thoughts. So these blockages are associated with fears, which are associated with ways of thinking. Yikes. Yeah. Oof. Okay, Spirit is not holding back. No more complaining. Number 12. You could be seeing 1212 or 1222, 222, 1111, 1010, 999. Because what this is saying is that you're spending too much time in your head. You're frustrated that things aren't changing in your reality when you're only taking action up here and thinking things through. Thinking things through is not actually changing things at a physical level. You're not moving your body to demonstrate your new thoughts. You're just in your head over and over and over again. Your physical reality is tangible, which means that it interacts with your physical form. And every time you take action, you're affirming that new pattern. You're affirming that new reality that you're wanting to create by taking action towards the things that you've been wanting to get done. Your desires are your compass. Okay, tell me a little bit more, Spirit. Okay, so the next two cards are tied together. Some of you are learning the art of listening to your body, learning the language of feelings, of sensation, so that you can understand more clearly when your boundaries have been crossed. Number 22 and 54, listen to your body more. You're not, up to this point, you haven't been in a position to understand what your body is trying to tell you. Some of you are learning how to recognize the cues of hunger. Some of you are learning how to recognize the cues of exhaustion, of rest, the cues of action, of being ready to take action. Some of you are learning the cues of knowing when you're sick or needing to rest and recover so that your diseases, discomforts can fully pass through. So a lot of you are not in the energy right now of being able to associate the felt, descriptive, qualitative sensation with the, shall we say, the English translation or whatever your native tongue is. This is asking you to learn how to communicate through feelings. And the easiest way to do that is to get in touch with your emotions. Because the more you get in touch with your emotions, you're allowing yourself to recognize when you're feeling certain things. You can recognize sadness. You can recognize dissociation. You can recognize anger. Anger is usually an indication that your boundaries have been crossed. So when you have that information, what do you do with it? How do you recognize when that burst of energy that burst of anger is starting to build up within you? The earlier you can recognize it, the earlier you're able to create circumstances that reinforce your boundaries. For some of you, this is also boundaries within yourself. Learning how to do it anyway. Show up anyway. Learning how to honor yourself. Honor yourself. To hold yourself accountable. Your emotions are your emotions. They're in your body. that makes you responsible for them. It doesn't matter if it was triggered by someone else. It doesn't matter if it is also something that you're picking up on someone else feeling. But for those of you who are highly sensitive and you're not in the process of understanding whose emotions are yours and whose aren't, because you haven't fully developed that language, you can't assume that the emotions that you're experiencing are not yours. That's a form of spiritual bypassing. So Spirit's asking you, your spirit guides, your angels, and the divine source of everything are asking you to focus on what matters, to break the cycle by making a change, by taking new action. Keep your dreams alive. That's where your inspiration and your motivation come from. Your desires, and releasing judgment around the things that you desire. I'm channeling Lorraine Warren over on Patreon on Friday night, so join Patreon to get the link for that Zoom chat. And on Saturday night, I will be hosting a new moon intention ceremony where we will all bring our celebrated cups of somethings. And maybe you have cacao, you have tea, you're just wanting to honor water, that's welcome as well. Tickets are $10. That's going to be 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The link to the Eventbrite page is in the description box below. Those are always really wonderful, and I know that everyone that has joined has found significant boosts in their manifestations of their intentions. So come check that out. I would love to have you there. And I'm going to continue this message over on Patreon if you'd like to check that out. Again, the link's in the description box below. If you want to work with me personally, I offer personal readings, Reiki healing sessions, and also house and land blessings. You're welcome to find all of the information for that in the description box below on my website. All right. Much love. See you in the next one.